What's up, Defenders Nation? Back with the Fly Shield Fly Pod, a podcast I thought would be absolutely miserable for the third week in a row. But somehow we have stumbled our way into playoff position, guaranteeing us more spring football. And in the end, isn't that all we really want? Just more football. And I'm grateful. Still kind of miserable, but also grateful. My body, my mind doesn't know what to do, but I'm here for it. And that's all we can do. Jay, what you got? What's your knee-jerk reaction to the Defenders being playoff eligible thanks to the Columbus Aviators win over Blackhawks alum AJ McCarron and the Stallions?
For those that are watching, whether on YouTube or Spotify, you're going to see me sipping red wine. I don't know if this red wine is celebratory for us making the playoffs or if it's sad red wine for us losing a third straight game. I think it's a little bit of both. Wine glass half empty, wine glass half full.
What do you always say? Two things can be true.
Two things can be true. And I think this is the perfect example of that dichotomy of two things being true because, damn, dude, we look like we can never get another win. But we're also in the playoffs from the work we did early on. Knee-jerk reaction, Orlando's good at football.
Yeah, they are. I had my goggles on. They're good.
This was the first team that we played that I was like, damn, their fast guys are better than our fast guys.
Yeah, that's actually one of my game takeaways. we've had that theory debunked.
One team out there.
There's a specific thing within that makes me feel worse about it. I'll talk about that in my takeaways. But
all right, well, get us started. Get us going.
All right. Well, anyway, the Defenders drop one to the Storm, 27-19. Give us some hope there at the end, and we'll talk about that later. But the sequence for today's pod, we're going to start with the opening drive, head into the Red Eye, sponsored by Together Skateboarding and Coffee, head into the film room, drop you with our lemon of the game, something that left a bad taste in our mouth. Then instead of our usual scouting report or look ahead, because we're playing the Storm again, we will hit the stock up, stock down, and fraud watch. And then I have an extra special in the booth question, or in the shoes, or in the visor, or behind the whistle, whatever. I'm going to ask a question to Jordan about next week's game, thinking that maybe we might think differently as fans than as coaches and how that might differ. And then we'll hit the final whistle. All right, so opening drive, got some good stuff for you. A deep dive I did with our history of our coaches. But first, the warm-up question. What is a humbling moment you experienced as a football player on the field where you were just like, oh, crap. Either you got humbled or you got sunned or you thought you were onto something and you got knocked back. I got one from high school and one from college, so I can let you stew.
But you go first. Get us going. I want to hear both of them.
All right. So a humbling moment I had in high school, my senior year against Springfield High School, which I'm now a taxpayer of. I was on the punt team. I went from center to guard on punt because I didn't long snap at the time. And I ran down to cover a punt. And my eyes got so wide. The punt was good, but had good hang time, even allowed not so fast me to get down there in time. And I thought, Jay, this was my moment. I was gonna clobber this kid. I was gonna take him out. This was gonna be my highlight play of my high school career. I was so excited. I had never gotten down in time to do that before on punt. So my eyes widen. I'm ready to take out this punt returner. I'm just hoping he doesn't fair catch. And then here's what happens. He drops the ball. The punt returner dropped the ball. And I didn't know, little 17-year-old me, didn't know whether I should go for the ball or if I should hit the player and let my teammate pick up the ball. The thing is, we coach this. Can't think too much. You got to do one of those things. And 17-year-old me tried to do both. So I ended up looking like a glitching video game character trying to like having my head down, like one hand trying to pick up the ball, and like one part of me thought I was still going to hit the guy, and I did neither. I just missed.
Missed both.
I'd missed both. I didn't get the ball. I didn't hit the guy. And there's actually a picture of me that I'm like off of my feet. It looks like I'm about to
Hit a
tackle.
breakdance move.
Cool picture, but I just didn't either. And when my face hit the ground, and I turned around and saw him he kept running. Like that could have been my moment, but it wasn't because I tried to do too much. All right, college. Had a interesting college career. We've talked about how I was D-line, I didn't play, moved to O-line where I'm more comfortable, played all 5 positions, didn't really play. And then finally, junior year, I started, and I am proud of the career I put together. Senior year, though, it was the last game of the season. I was feeling myself, thought I was a pretty good lineman, especially when I pulled and trapped. And it was Ursinus College, and it was an odd front. So I trapped the player that was at the 5 technique, so the defensive end for those listening. And I am downhill, and I am on my trap path, and God bless whoever tries to get in my way. Well, all this guy did was what we tell, you squeeze, and he sunk his hips. And I hit him literally as hard as I could. And I just bounced off him.
Oh no!
I bounced off him, and my like a Wile E. Coyote running into a beam and
Not
falling
the
down.
cartoons.
Like I just fell on my butt like a baby, like an infant child trying to be physical. So
You really got sunned.
I really got sunned, and it was in the last game.
Oh no!
Yeah, so that kid was good. He was tough. He was strong. He was technical, and I trapped, and I was like, I'm gonna run over this guy, and I hit him, and I just bounced off him like it was a force field and just landed on my butt like a baby. I remember a couple weeks later after the season, my O-line coach, because the season was over, he had finally added me back on Snapchat, and he just sent me the replay of me falling on my butt, me falling on my butt, me falling on my butt. Shout out Coach Russick, an impactful coach. Love you to death. I'm going up to see him coach in a couple weeks. Gonna shadow his practices, but
Coach Russick with the shadiest of shade on the Snapchat. I like that.
Yeah, so
I
anyway,
like that.
Trying to do 2 things at once on that punt and doing neither, and then feeling myself trapping this defensive end, and I just bounced off and fell on my butt like a little infant baby, like a little
you got sun.
Black Hawk.
Last game of the year, getting sun like that is nasty work.
Yeah,
nasty work. Speaking of nasty work, I can give you mine. Mine was junior year of high school football. It was the third round of the state playoffs. We're playing Altoona. We had to get on the bus, go up to Altoona, middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, and the first and only time I ever had to play on AstroTurf.
Ooh.
Very important for this story.
Okay.
So those who don't know, AstroTurf is what they used to have in the old Eagle Stadium in the Vet. And some older stadiums. They don't have it anymore because it's like playing on concrete with a thin padding of carpet between you and said concrete. Again, important for the story. We're playing Altoona. They're a good, sound football team, but they have one guy who's just a dog, AJ Alexander. I ended up going to Florida State on a full ride before transferring out to, I believe, St. Francis out of Pittsburgh. Had a really prolific 2-sport high school athlete career as a football player and a track athlete. He played running back and receiver for them. We are winning 7-6, and they have the ball with about 1:15 left, and we had been prepared for them to run a wide receiver crack. We knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. So AJ Alexander's a receiver, but he also played a little bit of tailback. Right. And he's built like the high school version of Deebo Samuel, about 5'11", 200 pounds, which is pretty good size for a high school receiver.
Oh, wow.
We're waiting for this crackback play, and my corner is supposed to call crack, crack, crack to let me know if it's happening. I see action go away. I see action come back, and kind of like you on that punt return, you thought you had a moment, or when you were covering the punt, you thought you had a moment where you were about to just go make the play. I see the running back coming my way. I'm slow playing it. I'm being aggressive, but I'm also taking my time to make sure my help's going to be around me because I'm a great teammate. You know, you want to make your teammates,
Deal.
put them in positions to be successful as well. Because if your teammates are successful, this is a team game, the most team game in the world. My teammate, I'm gonna call him out, Alex Fegley, number 6, corner, wide receiver, my college roommate, officiated my wedding. It's amazing that I forgave him for what he allowed to happen to me because AJ Alexander took all 5'11", 200 pounds of his D1 athleticism and ear-holed the hell out of me. It was the longest amount of time that I ever remember being in the air before I remember smacking my head off of the AstroTurf, aka the macadam, covered in carpet.
Oh,
So those who don't know, AJ Alexander, he caught me when I wasn't looking. Perfectly legal block. Great play by him. Exactly how you coach it on film. And I was in the air long enough that it felt like a movie, almost like a scene in the movie Wanted, where I was just floating in the air and I knew bad things were going to happen when I hit the ground. But
oh.
it took a long time for me to get there. And my feet were at one point level with my head and then over my head. So my head hits first. I bounce off the ground and I see them pick up the first down. And the next play, I'm fuming. This is the end of the game. That play got them in position to kick a field goal, which was going to be the go ahead field goal to put them up 9-7 with no time left on the clock for us. And that same teammate, number 6, Alexander Christian Fegley, my future college roommate, the future officiant of my wedding, makes the play of the year and blocks the kick. So,
You made up.
although he gave up the play that got me leveled, a play or two after, he made the game-winning block that kept our season going in our junior year. So, yeah, that's my that's my welcome to getting your ass kicked moment in high school ball.
I appreciate that there was a bow on that at the end, though. That was nice.
Always got to find the lemonade, my G.
You always do find the lemonade. All right. Well, it's crazy. All the plays we've played and coached, and you only remember so many of them. But I'll tell you what doesn't leave, what lives rent free.
But you get plastered.
Yeah. When I was a little baby in a grown man's world. Anyway, so my deep dive for this week. Pretty proud
Let's
of
do
it.
it.
I want to talk about the history lesson, right? I want to talk about the history of the coaching tree. I call them when we interviewed Coach Kais, I was joking about like the Holy Trinity, the Defenders Holy Trinity, but really we've had the most stable coaching group in the entire XFL turned UFL, and it's not a coincidence. And I want to talk about and unpack where those three met. Reggie Barlow, our head coach in 2023, and his offensive coordinator at the time, Fred Kais. Shannon Harris, who was our quarterback's coach at first. But these guys have had a really strong coaching relationship, specifically Coach Kais and Coach Harris. But there's also a little bit of, well, there's one thing I thought I was onto, like I thought I was a national treasure figuring out some stuff, and then I realized it wasn't. And then there's also just some little, reality TV type details toward the end here. But anyway, Coach Kais, Coach Harris, Coach Barlow. There's 3 dates I really want to highlight: 2006, 2011, and 2023. I'll highlight them as we get there. But 2003, our story goes back to 2003. Okay, so this is 23-year coaching tree, coaching family history where Tennessee State University hires Shannon Harris onto its football staff in offensive roles. Shannon Harris, I also want to note, he played JUCO at Mississippi Gulf Coast in 98, 99 before going to Tennessee State to play in 2000 and 2001. In 2001, he actually had a really great season. He completed 55% of his passes, threw for 3,008 yards, 26 studies, and 6. So my thought, the spoiler alert, Fred Kais joins Tennessee State as its offensive coordinator in 2006. This is the first known overlap between Kais and Harris. I thought in my head, I'm like, yo, do we think Coach Kais coached against Shannon Harris when he was a player and was like, yo, that kid can ball? So I went into Coach Kais's box score when he coached for Alabama A&M in 2000, and then the box score of when he coached for Hampton in 2001, and he totally did not coach against Shannon Harris. I was like, oh my God, I cracked the case. Like, he's appreciated him for a long time. Maybe he did, but they never. But
maybe from a distance,
Shannon
further than the
Harris
sideline.
play against Coach Keiss as a coach. So 2006, it's Fred Keiss joining Tennessee State. The birth of the Keiss-Harris relationship that still goes today, 20 years later, where they're roommates in Arlington, which is awesome. 2006 to 2009, Keiss and Harris worked together. In 2010, Keiss moves to Hampton University, and Harris follows him as quarterbacks coach. So we did 2006 where Keiss and Harris coached together for the first time. Now we're at 2011, where Reggie Barlow is the head coach at Alabama State University. He hires Keiss as the offensive coordinator and running backs coach, and hires Coach Harris as well to become the wide receivers coach. And now we have all three of them together in 2011. In 2011 to 2014, the three of them are together, and they have a successful run at Alabama State, playoff appearances, SWAC titles, what have you. 9 years goes by, and the trio reunites with the DC Defenders. Okay, Reggie Barlow is the head coach of the XFL's Defenders, brings on Fred Keiss to be the offensive coordinator, and then Shannon Harris comes on to work on the offensive staff, but particularly focus on quarterbacks, which Coach Keiss has said how excellent he's been at that. So that's our 2006 Keiss and Harris meet. 2011, Reggie Barlow brings Keiss and Harris in. The three of them are together until 2014. And then in 2023, Barlow brings them back. So now they're together again. They're reunited with the Defenders. And then here, we're together till 2025 when Coach Barlow leaves to go to Tennessee State University, which I guess it's ironic, right? The same school where Keiss and Harris first worked together and met 2 decades earlier, which I think is in itself. So you would think, and here's the tea here. Here's the tea, Jay. The gossip.
Lay it on.
When Barlow leaves to go to Tennessee State, which you can't blame him. Like a college job, that's long-term stable. You can sink your heels in. It's what Coach Barlow knows. But during the introductory remarks at Tennessee State, and with reporters asking questions and just hoopla surrounding that, it's my understanding that it was expected that Coach Keiss and Coach Harris would finish the season with the Defenders and then join Coach Barlow at Tennessee State, keeping the big three together. But as Shannon Harris became they win the UFL championship, and they stay with the Defenders. They do not go with Coach Barlow to Tennessee State. So I'm just very curious about that. This was not a question I really wanted to ask Coach Keiss directly because I thought maybe it could tug at some heartstrings. I don't want to because I know how when you have good coaching relationships, Exhibit A, me and you, it can become very personal. And it's interesting to me that there was a professional decision made by Coach Barlow that he then assumed or was under the impression that Coach Keiss and Coach Harris, his longtime running mates, would come with him. That was probably a big part of the deal for him to go to Tennessee State. And while he was under the impression that they would go initially, they didn't go. And I just wonder what that conversation was like between the three of them. Where
you should have asked. When we have Coach Keiss back on the show.
You think we should ask him?
Just ask him, dude. He was ready to tell us everything. He was all in. He was ready to talk ball, talk shop, talking relationships. I think we could ask that question. He would have gave us a pretty good answer. So next time Coach Keiss is on the show,
he did offer to come back. So
we'll get him on there. But yeah, you were down in your bag. History teacher meets professional football meets tea sipper, tea sharer of the tea. Yeah, Robbie Marsden.
We got a really well-rounded. I mean, I could have wrote an article on that, but anyway, a 23-year-long coaching relationship that has led to a UFL championship appearance, and what we have now going back to the playoffs. So just interesting stuff, and I just think that's unique. It's both unique and not unique. I've been really trying to put together these coaching relationships from other teams, and usually it's people that you've met along the way. But the beacon of consistency that this coaching staff has been. And I mean, obviously the personal level that Coach Kais and Coach Harris have known each other, and he's called him his son in interviews. And then he also said too, like, now that he's my boss, can I call him my son anymore? Like yeah. So I wanted to highlight that coaching tree because I think it's a really impactful one. So that's what I got. That was a little long-winded, but I think it's some good important stuff for our listeners. You ready for the red eye?
Let's do it. Light it up.
All right, so we already kind of talked about my first red eye. Like, one, we're in the playoffs. Like something that made me take it back. Together Skateboarding and Coffee. Shout out, Ron. We're in the playoffs, and I was really sad and angry Friday night, and then Saturday, by the afternoon, all of a sudden we're in the playoffs. Shout out to Ted Ginn. I've had such a strange season.
Yeah.
With the
Those
personal
Aviators.
issues and not really fielding the best football team, but then also securing us a playoff spot. Thank you, Ted Ginn, for that. So the red eye one is just like making the playoffs in a very obscure way. And then also, I want to talk about the fact that I've been getting bullied as a co-host of this podcast.
Who's bullying you, dude?
So, like,
who we got to talk to
over here? I'm catching more flack as the co-host of the Fly Shield Fly Defenders podcast than I have as a head coach. I mean, that's not entirely true because I've cost.
I certainly don't think that's true.
I know, but still, like, from anything else in my life. So let's go back to the list. We talked about those kids, those local high school kids heckling me because I was locking on the Defenders game. Maybe it was a clipboard, but so what? The kids heckled me that one time. That same night, earlier on, I sat next to a couple, and he was just like, dude, what is wrong with you? He turns to his wife, look at this guy. He's got a fucking clipboard. Look at this guy. Dude, what's wrong with you? And I know he was like joking, but also totally serious. Shout out to my friend Matt. He was there with me during both of those things. So I'm catching it from high school kids. I'm catching it from some middle-aged man sitting next to me at the bar, 7 High Life deep. Shout out $3 High Lifes at PJ Wellhands all day, every day. And lately, I post our episodes on Reddit and Facebook routinely.
Yep,
and
as you do.
I posted the X Valade interview, and I had somebody comment, AI slop image, not going to waste my time on a no-effort pod. And here's the thing. Totally used AI. And I get the moral ramifications, the ethical ramifications, what have you. Make fun of the logo. Go ahead. I will eat that proudly. Not proudly, but like I can be accountable to that. But don't say the podcast is no effort. You see these deep dives?
Wow, come on now. That's
made
but the hate was low effort, right? If you're gonna throw shade, either be accurate or go deeper. Right? Because you can't say that this is a low effort podcast.
Yeah.
We're out here sending emails back and forth to get players on the pod. We're getting coaches on the pod. Coach Mars is giving deep dives. We're doing math about the beer snake. You can get the hell out of here with the low effort.
Yeah.
Okay? If you want to judge a podcast off its logo, fine. But what I recommend to that person in the comments is to plug your headphones in, put them in your ears, and press play. And listen to this great top tier podcasting work that you're going to get nowhere else. No one else about the DC Defenders is doing this. So before you call us low effort, because if I see you in the streets, we're going to have a conversation. We're not going to do this back and forth Twitter fingers, sir. We can have a real life conversation, you and I, because there's no low effort here.
No.
All right?
There's more to the story. Would you like me to tell you more?
I don't know if I can handle more. I don't know if I can. I'm a little worked up right now, but go ahead.
So I've been really trying to, it's kind of how I navigate life, but I react to negativity with kindness. So I basically said something along the lines of, I'm sorry you got that impression from the logo. I assure you that I, work diligently to prepare, plan. And then here's where it gets iffy. I happen to be in my third period class, 10th grade Western Civilization, when I got this hate message. And the kids were working on
Message is crazy.
the kids were working on their stuff. And a couple of my kids, shout out Ben, Ryan, Dimitri, they listen. And I said to him, like, man, I just got some hate on Reddit. And it honestly was really nice and heartwarming, but also they were like, they went on and found the post and found the guy who critiqued me, and they're like, no, he's not going to do that to you. We're going to handle it. We're going to handle it. So they end up going through all this guy's old posts and seeing the pattern of his posts. And the one kid, one of my kids, posts something basically saying like, you know, don't judge a book by its cover, blah blah blah. Give it a chance. But he got a little bit personal with the comment. I wish he hadn't.
The heckler.
With the heckler, but I do appreciate the intent. But then they came back from lunch. I guess they did a deep dive because the class is split. There's lunch in between. And my one kid goes, "Hey, Mars, like it looks like this guy's an artist. And if you look at the history of all his posts, he just every time he sees an AI generated image, he bashes the post. So it's not just you." And I'm like, "Wow, your historian skills." Okay, your historian skills really painted a picture of why this guy said something to me when he did and why he did. But what also happened too is that somebody else said, how can you expect us to respect what you're doing if you're not respecting what we're doing in regard to artists and how AI graphics are taking away the work of actual graphic artists and other artists, right? And that response I respected, and I answered to that post respectfully, and I said that you gave me something really nice to think about that I hadn't thought about before. I would feel the same way as an educator and a coach, and I will say out loud publicly that I'm going to work with a student to make a logo all natural, and moving forward, that will be our new logo.
I love it. I love the full circle of that, right?
So,
bringing it full circle, because what I was going to recommend is that we get Mr. Heckler to show off his artistic abilities and do a new that'd be a crazy story, but I say we work with the student over this guy.
Yeah, I was thinking about
he
that.
Needs to be able to voice his opinions a little more maturely before I decide to work with this type of artist, because I think his shit is going to be slop. It might not be AI slop, but F that guy.
Yeah, like if it was the other guy that was respectful and gave me something good to think about, I would have him make us, or like, hey, like, can I consult you, or can blah blah blah, we'll pay you, blah 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 blah. Like, I don't want Mr. Negative Nancy.
No, I don't want that energy. I don't want that negative art energy out of here. Get out of here.
But having my kids stick up for me was nice.
That is great. Give them A's, give them extra credit, make sure they pass and go to Harvard.
They do
your part.
They get what every kid and player gets from me, the lifetime contract. All right. That's what they get, the lifetime contract of a confidant and mentor if they see so fit. So that's my red eye. I'm tired, dude. I left bullying behind in middle school. That's why I started lifting weights. That's why I started lifting weights, playing football and wrestling, so people couldn't bully me anymore. And I got middle-aged men, high school kids, and Mystery Owl on Reddit. Mystery_Owl.
Mystery_Owl. He sounds like he's a bot.
Yeah, well, and I too, when I first made a Reddit by accident, it gave me a bot. I'm like, I don't want a bot, so I made it like Fly Shields Fly 61 because I'd rather just be. I'm not gonna type behind a keyboard. You can know who I am. That's fine.
Ooh, let them know. Yeah. Let them know. There it is. Fly Shields Fly 61. If you see that on your Reddit thread, you know who it is.
You already know. I'm not hiding. All right. Anyway.
That was a good red eye. That was the top tier red eye.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna head.
And before we move on, you shot it out together. You shot it out, Ron, but also shout out Sarah.
Yes, I'm sorry, Sarah too.
It's all good. It's all good.
Hey, do you have a red eye? I just got so bogged down in me being bullied and like.
No, dude, I'm good. That's like I don't have anything that can touch that. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Well, we're gonna head into the film room. Would you follow me?
What's that?
Would you follow me into the film room?
Oh, gladly. I've got a lot
Uh,
to talk about
do you
with
want
the
to
film
go?
room.
I have 3 takeaways. Do you want to go first? Or
My takeaways towards the end of the game with management or mismanagement of coaching decisions. So I'll save mine. You get us started.
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking about saying that, so that works well. All right, so I have 3 takeaways from this game. For one, they did the graphic, the Jack the Plumber graphic, which you can't tell me that wasn't AI generated, where it was like Family Guy cartoon of Jack Plumber like doing a plumbing job with his plumbing truck, but it was just statistics and how he has 1,700 yards, 12 touchdowns, 1 interception. Ridiculous. But Jack the Plumber tore us up.
Something fierce,
Like,
boys. Something fierce.
like a toilet in need of repair.
A toilet that he made us need, dude. He made, oh my God, he was doing whatever he
Whatever
wanted.
it
It
was.
was wild.
Dude, so I say Jack the Plumber as my takeaway one, but also missed opportunities in the first quarter. Again, like this is a guy, Jack the Plumber, who does not. I like calling him Jack the Plumber now. Jack the Plumber that does not turn the ball over, right? Like incredible to have one
Is it
pick,
one interception all season?
1 interception all season. So I was hoping that our fast guys on the defensive side of the ball, that arguably is our superpower, could take advantage of these. And it's not, listen, if he's not putting the ball in harm's way, whatever. But there were 2 occasions I wrote down in the first quarter at 2 minutes and 32 seconds on 4th down. Bryce Thompson, our boy from day one, clear as day opportunity to take that pick and take it the other way.
Game changer.
And yeah, it's not that big a deal because it was on 4th down, but like he could have made points out of it, and it was right there. He knew it too. And then in the second quarter, we had Sam Kidd drop a pick as well. So two missed opportunities that you just need to take advantage of when you're going against a guy like Jack the Plumber who doesn't put the ball in harm's way. That's takeaway one. Jack the Plumber and missed opportunities. Takeaway two, the Storm receivers.
Really good at football.
Storm receivers made us pay, made us look silly. When they were done playing with the defensive backs, they dropped some mesh on us with the between the box passing game. Elijah Badger looked great, and then what makes me sad, and Coach Jay, you came on a little bit late with the Shields Up Nation, but like Chris Rowland is our OG. Chris Rowland was doing that stuff for us, and we didn't protect him in the expansion draft, and he goes to the Storm.
Nice, frying it up.
He ripped us up in the third quarter with 5 minutes left. Chris Rowland had 6 catches for 107 yards and a touchdown. The rest of the receivers for the defenders, 5 catches for 89 yards. Chris Rowland tore us up. Our own Chris Rowland tore us up. So those Storm receivers just bullied us at the secondary level and the linebacker level. And then takeaway 3, I'm going to straight up call a spade a spade. We rushed for 202 yards. We had a 200-yard rushing game again, Jordan. But let me tell you this.
Back to back.
Let me tell you this. Not all 200-yard rushing games are created equal.
Mm-mm.
Not all 200-yard rushing games are created equal. Why? Spencer Sanders had 75 of them.
Yeah.
Our leading rusher.
On breakdowns. And one of them was like a 18, 19-yard gainer that didn't get a first down on third. So, cool. But, like, really that's 180 yards once you take that out.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel you. That was not a dominant. Normally you hear 200 yards on the ground, you think, man, that's a dominating game. But when you couple that 200 yards with Spencer still hasn't thrown a touchdown this season. He's played the last 3 games, right? If you're not going to be able to score the ball, going up and down between the 20s doesn't do anything for you. Unless you can break the goal line and score some points, doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't win off the yards.
Jackson had a decent game, but only 8 touches. And Abram had less than 4 yards of carry, and X had less than 2 yards of carry. So the big 3 just passed 100 themselves. But yeah, and I want to couple with that too, just with the D. I'll talk more about them later, but the Storm D line, specifically Isaiah Buggs, number 96. The run game woes. It looks like it was good on paper, but I really don't think it was as good because that D line was tearing us.
There were a lot of plays going backwards.
And there's just things that we can do where, like, and Mike Maietti is my favorite player. There was a play where he clearly should have chipped, comboed Isaiah Buggs to get to backer. And
Left him wide open, and he blew that shit up.
yeah, he barely touches him. He just goes right to backer, and Buggs blew that play up. That was at 2nd and 1.
Third quarter, right?
Yeah. So anyway, it's the little things. Like, you got to handle your trucks before you handle your cars. Trucks are D linemen, cars are linebackers. You know that's a go-to.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff.
All
Good
right.
coaching point.
Big 3 takeaways. Jack the Plumber and missed opportunities, making him pay. The Storm receivers, including our own Chris Rowland, and a run game that looked good on paper, but watching it live was not as good as you'd think. Going up against that Storm defensive line, those are my 3.
All right, my first and foremost and most important takeaway is the Orlando Storm versus DC Defenders is the best uniform matchup possible in the UFL.
That was nice.
Holy hell, dude. Those uniforms, oh my God. The all black for the Storm, the all white for the Defenders is cold as ice.
Crispy.
Love that matchup. So moving into the actual football of it all, I've got a HBGOTW, a Hakeem Butler Glaze of the Week. And there are 3 candidates for the Glaze of the Week this week. And I want your help to make the decision because you mentioned all 3 of them. You got Mr. Rowland out here slicing and dicing.
Oh, Plumber.
All purpose. Oh, no, 12 is Chris Rowland.
Okay.
Mr. Rowland out here rolling the DC Defenders, slicing and dicing. I think he's the all-purpose yard leader for the UFL right now.
Yeah, I take that with a grain of salt. He was that with us too, just because return yards fishy.
So he does more. He does more with more. That's fine. Keep doing more, kid. You're in it for the HBGOTW. Jake the Plumber, quarterback. Jake, whatever. He's the plumber.
Who gives
it? Putting in work. And the actual winner is the nightmare Isaiah Big Man Buggs.
Yeah, he's good.
Dude was dominant. There were 3 plays in a row where he was just in the backfield causing havoc. As a defensive tackle, to be able to pass rush the way he does, because you have a defensive tackle, you think he's a run stopper. He might get a hand up in front of the quarterback and make it hard to throw, but no, he's actually beating double teams. He's splitting linemen, and he can move. I don't know how big he is, how many pounds that man carries, but he carries them well, and he gets after the quarterback.
He's
so
right around 300 either. I think, you know what? No, I know it. I know exactly how much he weighs because I was like, so he's listed at 299 pounds. I'm like, dude, why are you just make yourself 300? Like, you eat a cheeseburger and you're weighing in at 300. You have 2 bottles of water and a cheeseburger.
You drink water here at 300.
Yeah, like, why are you putting 299? Like, what does that do for you, dude?
It makes him feel faster. It makes him sound a little leaner. Yeah, because he's a problem. And if we don't figure him out, if he's playing next week, if we don't figure him out, man, it's gonna be a problem all over again. You can't get anything going when you have a backup quarterback with that type of pressure in his face. You can't expect Spencer to really get anything done. He's gonna.
Oh, you went away for a second. Hold on. You went away for a second. He's gonna have to then pick up from there. You're good now. Yeah.
Because he is an absolute problem. If we don't get that cleaned up, Spencer's going to be running for his life all over again this coming week because that man's not going to slow down. So yeah, Glaze of the Week had 3 candidates. Isaiah Buggs takes it this week because the man is an absolute unit.
I support that. The offensive line.
I'm gonna fast forward in the film room. I'm gonna hit fast forward to the end of the game. The final was what, 19 to 27?
27 to 19, but it was 24 to 19. Well, it's 24 to 16, and then that's probably where you're going to take off.
24 to 16. We are sitting with a 4th and 9, and we elect to kick a field goal.
Yes.
I tried. I really tried to be empathetic. I tried to be understanding. I tried to do the mental gymnastics to make this decision make sense, and I can't do it. Why the hell did we kick a field goal down 8 points with about 2 minutes left. We elect to kick a field goal to cut it to 5. We go for a 4th and 12 to get the ball back when we had a 4th and 9.
Yeah.
We had a 4th and 9. That's the part that I cannot get behind. I don't know how many plays are in the play sheet for 4th and 12, but I know my play sheet doesn't have many. Right? And football is football. 4th and 12 is incredibly difficult to convert. 4th and 9 is 3 yards easier. And we still needed a touchdown no matter what. Even if we got the ball back on 4th and 12 and kicked another field goal, we're still down 2. So no matter what, we needed a touchdown. And we wasted time on the kick. Right? So let's just do a risk reward. Because I did this. I tried to make sense of it. Risk.
Talk to me.
You wasted time. So you risk clock. You risk a miss. And then they get the ball where you miss from. Or you risk a block and they pick it up and return it for a touchdown. There's no way to make that decision make sense to me. I want to hear if there's anything that you came up with to explain this away or get inside of Harris's mind on this one.
No, you're down 8. You go for it at 4th and 9, 4th and 8, whatever it was, and I mean, because then you still need to score anyway. But now even if you get the 4th and 12, you have 50 yards to go in a minute and a half. Even if you get that 4th and 12, you are in an incredibly disadvantageous position with one timeout left. Why not? You're right there. You're knocking on the door. You're down 8. You can score and go for 2. It's the UFL. Like,
you could have theoretically even gone for the win,
or just use that timeout. Just, you know what? We're going to empty our clip. Let's use that one timeout now and just have our best shot at converting this 4th and 8.
Those 3 points do nothing for you.
Because then you go up and you spike the ball, and now you have a couple shots at score if you don't get that touchdown. But like, I don't know. It didn't. You're right. It does not make sense to cut the lead to where you still need to. It's still a 1-score game anyway. The circumstances of the game didn't change, and you moved yourself back. So I don't get it. You're right.
All right, so we're on the same page there.
Yeah.
Maybe we can ask that question at some point. But man, that one left me with a head scratcher.
Yeah.
And I was doing more than scratching my head. I was pissed off,
Yeah.
trying to make sense of that one. Where are we going next? We're done. Are we out of the film room?
Yeah, we're out of the film room into the lemon of the game. I have 2 quick ones, and then you can give me your lemonade. For one, and I think you know this about me more than most, and I think you hate it just as much. Mr. Sanders spiked his helmet at the end there. You're a professional who had 40-something odd starts at Oklahoma State, and you're going to spike your helmet in a moment of frustration as a professional quarterback. Listen, I hate when players spike their helmet. And then what happens? Kids see that, and then kids get frustrated, and they spike their helmets too. That is the cardinal sin if you play for me. Spiking your helmet is you're taking all in one symbol, the team, the community, your teammates, and your coaches, and you throw it on the ground. That's what that means.
The ultimate disrespect.
I hate that he did that. It made my blood boil at 11:30 because these games go a little later, and made me go to bed unhappy, more unhappy. Figure it out, Spencer. Cardinal sin. You can't be setting that example for your teammates as the new in charge as the new starter. Are you kidding me? Anyway, my second lemon is really you today. You, Jordan Holbert, today.
Okay.
You ready for it? You know why?
I guess so.
You poured yourself a glass of red wine. You didn't tell me we were sharing a cocktail.
Oh, dude!
I started recording. I have my melon medley seltzer, and that's fine. But like, it's Saturday night. We're adults. I would have toasted you. We could have cheered. It would have been great. You left me out to dry Literally dry.
Man, I'll take that. I will. I'll accept that. That's on me. However, you're also an adult human man. If you wanted a drinky drink, you should have had a drinky drink. Although I will take full responsibility for not inviting you into the bar with me. I hope you can forgive me. Maybe we can get together for a game soon and have a libation in person.
That would be nice. I would enjoy that. Maybe me, you, and
Damn. Damn. That hurts. I'm sorry.
anyway.
Let's go back to the other lemon and address Mr. Sanders, because I agree with you, the amount of disrespect. And what really gets me the most is that we come on here and we talk often about how the UFL is such a different experience because of the access and the in-person and the personality you get from the players during the broadcast. I tell all of my players to watch. So when you talk about the example that these athletes are setting, that's not a great one, right? I think that the UFL does something so unique in the way it portrays its broadcast that it really does let someone who doesn't know a lot about football feel like they're still included in the conversation. And
Wow.
as more and more players are not watching the game all the way start to finish in the NFL and college football, the UFL keeps that attention a little better, but now that's what they're seeing. So I'm not going to shit on you, Spence. I'm not going to hold you down. I am going to expect more from you going forward. Don't let it happen again. Please and thank you. And that's my... Do I have a lemon of the game? Oh, yeah. I don't know how you didn't have this one as your lemon of the game. We already addressed it. We talked about it, but although we lost, we got our tuchuses kicked. We're still in the playoffs.
That's a good
lemon,
one.
turn into lemonade. We're in the playoffs. We know
more football.
We're getting some more football. We've got to win that game, and then boom, we're back at home.
I was talking.
Then boom, we're back at home, battling in front of the Rowdy Outy for the UFL championship repeat.
In front of 50 cents.
That's a lot of lemonade right there.
Yeah. I was talking to my buddy Jason. He's like, dude, they haven't looked any good. Like, they're not going to make a run. And I'm like, but it's not a run. It's like
it's a jog.
Yeah,
it's a jog around the corner. We just got to get around the corner, dude.
And even though we've lost these last couple games, like, we've been within a score. It just looks ugly along the way. But
I think that's a good segment into the stock up, stock down.
Yeah. All right.
Fraud watch. You want to go? You want me to get it started?
Here, ready? Rock,
paper, scissors, shoot it.
Rock,
paper, scissors, shoot it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot it.
Oh,
I'm up.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. I'll get us started. So stock up, stock down, fraud watch. Pretty self-explanatory. We are playing the Orlando Storm again this week, the final week of the UFL regular season. They're playing for nothing. They've got first place pretty much locked up, I believe. They're at 7-2. I don't think anyone can catch them with 7 wins, right? Everyone else is at 5.
Yeah.
No, they might be sitting some players. So who knows? Who knows what we see? Stock up for this matchup overall is the Orlando Storm, man. They look how we looked before Te'amu went down. They look like they're just head and shoulders above the rest of the league. I think their stock is rising. I don't know what the betting markets are saying, but I bet they're putting Orlando as the favorite to win the UFL championship this year. So stock up. Overall, as Orlando, stock down. Man, it hurts. It hurts to say this, but the DC coaching staff. I'm going to ask you this question. I want you to be honest with me. Was Te'amu making the coaching staff look better than they are?
I actually think the opposite. Hot take.
You think the coaching staff looks good after this week?
No. I think the Fred Keiss offensive scheme makes Jordan Te'amu look better than he actually.
Ooh.
That could be a conversation for another day. We can't get into that. I think it was a pair made in spring football heaven, and that's why
Okay.
it lasted 23, 24, 25, and now
25.
26. And now that he's hurt, again, we're seeing some, but exposure.
So
Anyway,
what put me in the stock down for the DC coaching staff is that last sequence. There's only so much that coaches can do day of the game,
yeah, that's
right? You do all the work ahead, you do all the preparation, you think about if we do this and they do that, what do we do? What's our adjustment? You can make adjustments in between drives. Sometimes you mostly make your adjustments at halftime, but coaches, they're not playing in the games, right? The one time they had a chance to really impact that game was coming down the stretch when we decided to kick that field goal. And that doesn't inspire faith in me as a fan. And it left me scratching my head as a coach.
Yeah.
So there's my stock up, my stock down, and my fraud watch. You're not going to like this.
Don't say it.
The DC offensive line.
Oh.
Yeah, man. Our left tackle was getting cooked.
Well, he's hurt. Yasir Durant.
Is that what's going on with him?
Yes. Yeah, I don't think he's going to be back this week. That is my.
Ooh, so that means
Or
that
wait,
makes me feel.
Jalen Duncan's our left. Durant was our right. So right tackle got hurt.
Nah, the left tackle was getting torched. Our center in the middle was getting beat by Bugs. And again, this is Orlando Storm with a really strong defensive line, but
And
it didn't look good.
That their defensive line's a problem, and they made us pay.
Yeah. So stock up, stock down, fraud watch.
All right.
DC offensive line, you're on watch. So get it together.
All right. Stock up for me, number 96, all 299 pounds of Isaiah Bugs. He is an absolute force in this league, an absolute game maker, a game breaker, whatever you want to say it. And his stock is up, and that's going to be the matchup of next week. Ken Mayetti, Ken Branch, Ken Tykeem Doss, can they handle the trucks up front? Can they double team and get some movement, or at least just make him a net neutral? I don't care if you double team him and you have somebody else getting one-on-ones. Double team him. Coach Braz.
Dude, we might have to triple team that guy. He was unbelievable.
Double team him. I don't care if we get one-on-ones for everybody else. Now, they do have good defensive linemen elsewhere, but Isaiah Bugs is a game record. Double team him. I can't have Mayetti pat him on the shoulder, say hello to my boy X. Say hello to Spencer. Go get him. I'm going to go to linebacker. You got to handle the trucks before you handle the cars. Stock down. You're going to hate this one. I'm going to hit you right back. You come at the O-line, I'm coming right at you.
Don't do it.
Defender secondary torched. We got Conley, Baker, Anderson, Bryce, Kidd. We have who we thought were an elite group of defensive fast guys, and they got torched by every type of receiver. You want the big Elijah Badger, you want the shifty Chris Rowland, you want that corner. I don't know if it was the third quarter. They had clear out routes, and then Elijah Badger in that corner. Yeah. My God, deep over top. You want to dice them up with the mesh routes, making the linebackers look silly. And, we're not coming over to help them out. The defender secondary is my stock down for this week. And the fraud watch, I will say I considered staying the offensive line because I'm just, I take more ownership over the offensive line, and I really believe in double teaming, and didn't see a good job of that. But I'm just going to say, us in general, the team, the coaches, the fans, the podcasters.
Oh,
guys, we went into week 7 only having to win one more game to clinch. We've lost 3 straight, and we quite literally tripped our way into the playoffs thanks to Ted Ginn,
of all people,
and the Columbus Aviators.
Man,
I'm looking inward. Is it me? What did I do? Am I not? No, I'm just kidding.
Are we not getting them prepped on the Thursday pod?
I thought we were getting them right. Anyway, so us Defenders Nation, we need to figure it out. I hope we can have some success this week. that leads us into the playoffs where, again, it doesn't have to be a run. This isn't a grueling playoffs like the NFL. The NBA and the NHL are still going on right now. That's crazy. It's a couple good games. In fact,
Literally 2.
you have one good game, and I say all bets are off for the championship. Once you're in the show, boom. One good game we need. And this leads us perfectly to my question for you I said I had prepared. This is, I would argue, the most important topic heading into this week. And I think it's the biggest discussion amongst fans. And I think it's extra interesting because we have the Orlando Storm, who have clinched the 1 seed and do not need to play their guys, and us, who have technically clinched a playoff spot as well. I call it to bean or not to bean. Option A. And let me tell you the options, and let me tell you how they might differ. Option A. Stick with Spencer Sanders. Give him more game experience to get used to the offense and gel with his teammates, and give that added experience and momentum and chemistry into our 2 playoff games, hopefully. Option B, we bring in some life. We bring in Jason Bean, who started games this year, who is as fast as Spencer Sanders and can also sling the rock, has also played high-level college football. And I think so I gave you those option A, option B, stick with Sanders or try out Bean in this last game to see what we got. I think from a fan's perspective, it's easy to say, hey, Sanders isn't good enough. Try out Jason Bean. There's no shame in doing that right now. I think that's the fan's perspective, right? That's the fan's conundrum. From a coach's perspective, I think it becomes what I painted for you. This isn't just playing, this guy isn't good enough, play this guy. It's, from a coach's perspective, how much do we prioritize having this guy get more game reps with this team? Because that's a better option than putting someone in brand new. So, option A, stick with Sanders. Option B, try out Bean. From a fan's perspective, I want them to try out Bean. But I'm not going to lie, they obviously have a lot of faith in Spencer Sanders, and he has an extensive body of work. I think from a coach's perspective, I'm going to prioritize the chemistry, the time together, the game experience. And from a coach's perspective, I think I'm sticking with Sanders, and it'd send a rough message to Sanders. It would send a rough message to Sanders if they pivoted now and Bean wasn't good. And then you go back to Sanders, who you basically just told you didn't believe in him. So there's a downfall of going with Bean now. Even if you split the game, if you go Sanders for a half and Bean for a half, which you might be able to do and pretend like it's to rest Sanders and see what happens. And if he does well, then you just run with it. I think maybe I like that too, as a hybrid between coach think and podcast host think. But as a coach, I think I'm sticking with Sanders. What do you got?
You've given me 0 good reasons to support your decision to go with Sanders.
5.
No. They're all bad reasons. They're all just fluff reasons. You said chemistry. Hold on. I let you go on your whole let's keep Spencer Sanders because we believe in his feelings and we want him to feel nice going into the playoffs so we can get his ass kicked, but at least he'll be smiling and throwing his helmet. No. You talk about chemistry. There's no chemistry between him, the receivers, the coaching staff. It seems like the chemistry is way, way, way off. We've got this week where we're either going to be 2, 3, or 4 in the standings. No matter what, we're going to have to play the Orlando Storm again. It's either going to be 3 weeks in a row that we're playing them, or we're going to have to play them in the championship. If we can get past the 2 or the 2 or the 3, if we can advance in the first round of the playoffs, we're seeing Orlando again. Okay, so we've seen what he's going to do against Orlando, and it's not anything I want to see in the playoffs. I say that we go with Jason Bean. We make the change because what we're seeing isn't working. Sanders has played 3 games and has 0 touchdowns. You have to score points to win in the playoffs. You must score points to win in the playoffs. He's 0 for 0 touchdowns in 3 full games. Jason Bean got traded to us this year from the Kings. Played 4 games, had 4 touchdowns. If we have 1 touchdown from our quarterback this week, we at least tie the game. You want to go with Spencer Sanders, and I understand the idea of chemistry and continuity, but that chemistry and continuity only exists if the chemistry is worth having. The receivers look frustrated. The running game, although it had 200 yards, didn't look dominant. The backs aren't getting open. We're playing against stack boxes because why would they care about stopping our pass game when it doesn't work? I say we use this week, this final week of the regular season that doesn't really mean all that much, to try something different. There's a way that you can have this conversation with Sanders where if Sanders is a team player, we'll understand that, hey, we're trying something that's for the good of the team, and we're going to give Bean this opportunity. You and I are Eagles fans. We've seen the right backup quarterback be able to win a championship. I don't think that right quarterback is Spencer Sanders. Let's find out if it's Jason Bean before we get into the big show.
Yeah.
Did I sway you?
We're not gonna. You did a little bit. Here's what I'm gonna answer you here, and we're not gonna say the artist's name because he's done bad things, and we do not promote him. We actually condemn him and his actions. But my mind's telling me Sanders, but my body's telling me Bean. So I don't know if ever again. I don't know if ever again that lyric will be used.
Oh man, yo, curse you, bro. That's gonna be stuck in my head all evening now.
My mind's telling me Sanders, but my body
is telling me Spence.
No, my body's telling me Bean.
Oh.
Yeah, come on, dude.
Well, my mind and body are both telling me where you got to go with Jason Bean.
I didn't want to sing it because I felt like that'd be indirect support for the artist. But anyway, we do support Spencer Sanders and Jason Bean. So we trust the coach's judgment. I trust Coach Keiss, man. I don't have a kid yet, but when I do, I would trust Coach Keiss with the kid. He'd be grandpop number 3.
You were going to say you were going to name him after Keiss.
Could you imagine?
Keiss Marsden.
That's actually not a bad first name.
Got a ring to it.
Keiss. Come here,
Keiss Jordan Marsden. I like that. I could work with that. I could definitely work with that.
Oh,
before we wrap this thing up, I got to ask you a question.
Okay.
Mike Repoli. Did I say that right?
Repoli.
Was he on that stuff, dude?
You think he was intoxicated?
I think he was on some stuff.
I just think he's a goober.
Is he that much of a goober?
I mean, dude, he is so rich, and he wears. And like, listen, I dress like a gym teacher. I dress like a football coach every day, and I dress like I did in middle school and high school. I'm wearing a jersey right now.
Was he wearing a polo and sweatpants?
He wears a generic polo that like a Cole, and I love Kohl's. He wears like a Kohl's polo. And like jeans wherever he is, and this dude is so rich, and he just still wears regular people clothes. And part of me admires that, but I think he's just a goober. I think he's just like a little. He goes.
So
I admire that.
But he could get a nicer polo.
He could have all the clothes.
Dude sold body armor for $5.6 billion.
Well, yeah, if you add up Smart Water and Vitamin Water too, it's close to $10 billion.
His net worth is 1.6. You're telling me he can't like get himself looking right? Because he looked crazy. I like him. I think he gave a great interview, great energy.
He looks like a dad at a Little League game that's like heckling the umpire, or like not upset that it's this 5th inning and his kid hasn't gone in yet.
Fascinating businessman, fascinating business mind. maybe take $100,000 and hire a stylist.
Yeah. Well, dude, that makes us sound superficial, which we're not. I mean, look at me. Look at my defenders. I have this. I have the judicial branch over here and the legislative branch over here on my defender's visor right now because I just wear whatever I want. Can I ask you a question or ask if you've heard something considering Rapoli? And I knew immediately who the United Bowl halftime performer would be because Mike Rapoli put out a tweet that said, I can't decide who the first performer is going to be for the United Bowl. It's got to be big. I'm thinking Bad Bunny, 50 Cent, or the Beatles. Let me know what you think in the comments. And as soon as he said that, I knew that it was 50 Cent.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's got the relationship from Vitamin Water with 50. The Beatles are not performing, and Bad Bunny just did the Super Bowl. I don't think he's doing the UFO halftime show. I think that was a great tweet. That was a top tier tweet. Again, Rapoli, I like you. I like what you do. I want to be in charge of your wardrobe just for one game. Let me do one game.
Bring us in. Well, not me. I would just have him wear.
No, you stay on this.
I would have him wear a Mike Mietti jersey. We'd match. Oh wait, I'm gonna put a little teaser out there. I actually have beef with 50 Cent, and I don't know if I've ever told you about it.
Well, you've never told me about your beef with 50. I don't think listen. As someone who's closely associated with you, both through real life friendship and through this podcast, we're not taking on any 50 Cent beef.
But I guess
stop it. He will dedicate his entire being to crushing anyone who has beef with him, and I'm not trying to get crushed. I don't want that. I don't want no smoke. 50.
Talking too much about it. I'll tell you all about it next episode about my beef with 50 Cent.
No, you got to tell me right now.
This has been a beef that's been going on 10 years. No, we're going to talk about it next episode.
Oh my God, what a tease!
All right, final whistle. We've gone a little long, but we're having fun on this Saturday night. I'm just drinking my Melon Medley Waterloo seltzer over here.
Okay. Imagine if you were on the wine. See, that's why I didn't tell you.
Yeah, there you go.
Know how to act.
I'd be on one. So this is I stole this from my former coach and current head coach, Coach Graham. You know how as coaches we would always say to the kids, like, yo, like, I can tell a kid to come to practice, I can call their parents, blah, 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 blah. They expect it to come from me. They expect it to come from us. It needs to come from you guys, the kids, the players. Coach Graham calls it positive peer pressure.
Ooh.
And, you know, we can agree that peer pressure itself is a bad thing, but I do like this idea of positive peer pressure. So I'm going to give you an example. Today I ran a 5K in Stone Harbor, was down the shore for the weekend with my wife, with family, the dogs, and it was raining all weekend. And there was a 5K in Stone Harbor called the Turtle Trot, helping out the turtles, saving the turtles. And I totally would not have ran this 5K, would not have got up to run this race with the forecast if my cousin Abigail.
Oh, shout out Abigail, my favorite cousin.
Yes. She was like, yo, do you want to, and she put it in a group chat too, like talk about positive peer pressure, a group chat with our friend Elizabeth, like, hey, do we want to do the Turtle Trot? And like, I totally wouldn't have done the Turtle Trot, but like slowly but surely, I literally bought my race bib at 8:30 p.m. the night before because I just didn't really, it's going to rain, when, I was complaining, but the positive peer pressure got me out doing a 5K this morning. And I think
I like that.
Peer pressure, I think also really that's just a better way of putting accountability. Like positive peer pressure is a user-friendly version of accountability.
I like that.
Hold your friends accountable. Give them positive peer pressure.
Positive peer pressure. Shout out cousin Ab. Really is my favorite cousin. My only cousin of yours that I know, but she does bring the positivity and the peer pressure all in one. Can't wait for the next Go Birds tailgate. Mm-hmm. Shout out Abigail. Positive peer pressure. I like that. I think that we need more peer pressure. I think peer pressure is the most effective type of pressure. And we want to keep it productive. We want to keep it positive. We want to keep it moving in the right direction.
I think we have had a positive peer pressure relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you peer pressured me in coaching high school football. So
yeah, positive peer pressure. Can you just triple P?
Well, positive at times. It's definitely eating up the majority of my time. All
Yeah.
of my free time is now gone.
Yeah. Well, listen, I hear you.
All right. My final whistle is a little heady this week. All right. Question is, what's the most obvious sign that humanity accidentally got too smart too fast?
AI.
Anything specific about it? Because I came up with a list. And AI is on there, but there's one specific thing.
Dude, I mean, you're gonna make me get in my bag, but I also think like World War One, like the difference between weapons. Let's call it the Spanish American War to World War One. Like I showed this video to my kid, and it says that soldiers rode into World War One on horseback and left on airplanes.
Yeah.
So like
crazy.
Think about that short amount of time, and people are just having no regard for the ethics of war. Whatever new weapon they could create, they just did it. I mean, we're talking chemical warfare. We're talking poison gas, mustard gas, barbed wire, flamethrowers. Like there was no code to warfare because they were like, this we just invented this. Let's just throw it
We
at
can just press these buttons and stuff goes boom.
And not worrying about the millions of people around the world that were killed. So I think World War One with war technology would be that for me. And then I think we're seeing it right now with AI. And I think specifically, I don't know, I just think people are there's a difference between using AI as an end versus as a means to an end. And I do believe, this is going to be the innovation of our lifetimes and our kids' lifetimes. And it is here. So you better learn how to use it and use it as a tool and use it critically so that we can stay the master. We can stay the puppet master. We can keep AI as our pet. Because if we keep using it as an end and giving bullcrap input for a bullcrap output, we give them more control.
A good answer.
There's my soapbox.
You hit 2 of my top 5. So I had one. Yeah. So I had people tracking their sleep devices and that making them not be able to sleep as my number 5. Doom scrolling is number 4. Like we have so much access to information that we don't know when to put it down and get back and touch grass and be in the real world. Number 3, working in corporate America for as long as I did, meetings about meetings. Meetings.
Oh.
And then you got my top 2. You got the World War One, but now it's just migrated to nuclear weapons. As opposed to airplanes and horseback.
I should have said I think it starts.
And AI, but specifically AI boyfriends and girlfriends. Guys, girls.
Oh no.
We need
I haven't thought
each other. We need humans. Don't start dating. Don't start marrying. Don't start falling in love with your AI chatbot.
That's going to be a huge problem for kids that are isolated and don't have friends.
It's not just the kids. The kids are not all right, but neither are the adults. So everyone, please keep a healthy, properly hygienic relationship with your AI chatbots. And that's my final whistle, toot toot. You got anything else to close us out?
Yeah. My mind's telling me Sanders, but my body's telling me Bean.
Yo, get out of here. Get off my mind. Get off the podcast. The podcast is over.
13th at the United Bowl. Don't think I forgot what happened to me in 2016, me and you.
I can't wait to hear this story next week on the pod. Until then,
2016.
Until next week, shields up, mics down. Go DC Defenders. Peace, y'all.
Deuces.